Now I'm recording. And I was so excited to begin to introduce Maggie. For those of you who are just joining us, you just missed half my introduction because I forgot to record, but thankfully I remembered it now. You know, Maggie, I didn't know what you would say when I asked you to share on our call. I didn't know at that time that you were speaking on virtual GTC. And now that after that, I thought she could have said, well, they're all going to hear me then. But you did not say that. You willingly said yes. And I just so appreciate that you were happy to do this and just to come pour into our team. We think the world of you. You needed no introduction. And we are just going to sit back, and I'm going to grab my notebook because you are, while way younger than me, you are a role model for me. And I truly look up to you and all that you've done and achieved in Arbonne in 9 years.
Awesome.
11 years.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction. And 11 years in Arbonne and 9 as an NVP, and just finally became an ENVP this last year. I actually had 2 girls promote direct to me on the same month and actually within the same hour. And they also promoted to RVP the year before on the same day. It's really interesting. Which is pretty cool. But that being said, it's really cool to hear all these accolades and one, but I'm like seriously just as normal and average as every other person. And I've spent plenty of time in my journey feeling like wondering what I was missing or what I wasn't good enough with or whatever, like all the things that we all go through. So it's cool to have all that recognition and, to be able to speak on a platform like GTC, but there's a lot of years, 9 years, being active, 10 years, really 9.5 years of being active in a business, of watching a lot of people earn things. Sometimes it's easy to look at people and go, oh, like, they're so amazing or all the things they did, but like we all have our waiting time, and so anyways, it's very humbling to hear all that, but I'm like, if you only knew, right? All the things to get there, right? And even where we are right now. So Dina, you asked me to share a lot of things. So I'm going to do my best to just kind of give my story and a few like success tips along the way, and just really just share a little bit from my heart as well tonight, and like what's just, what is going on right now. So like she mentioned, I am from Anchorage, Alaska, and I moved to Florida after college to pursue a career to train professional athletes as a strength and conditioning specialist, and also for the obvious difference in weather. And long story short, I did end up owning my own personal training business and then gym in Tampa, Florida. And that's how I got introduced to Arbonne. I did get hit up to sell a lot of things. And this was, again, like 12 years ago. I was, people were always asking me to sell things. And I even hung up on an Arbonne person at one point. So I was very good at saying no. I was not nice about it. And what happened is I just, people are always talking about nutrition, happened to be a passion of mine. Self-healed myself through clean eating before I knew Arbonne. So I understood how important that was. And I just wanted to find a protein powder that I could recommend to my clients. And just in research and by the grace of God, I found Arbonne, and I'm like, Arbonne, isn't that like skincare? Like, how could they have good nutrition? But once I actually like looked into what we're all about, as you guys know, our ingredient policy and our history, I was floored like that. We were a one-stop shop for, I didn't have to do the hippie soap thing all over the place because there just wasn't a lot of options back then. And so I was a product junkie right away, but I was still very close-minded to the business model. I was just like, that's for other people. I have a real business. And so I just appreciated that I could authentically make a recommendation, the 30-day program. I've been coaching for 11 years. This is my 11-year anniversary this month. So literally month after month after month for 11 years straight, I've been coaching people on it. And it just brought my gym to another level with results people got. And really appreciated that. And what happened is I got married and I moved an hour away, and I was commuting and getting up at 4:45 in the morning, getting home 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. to run my business. And I, even though my business was growing, and I was doing pretty well, it was like not fun anymore. All the overhead, the employees, the stress. And I had watched other people build business with Arbonne. I watched my sponsor, Executive Natural Vice President Leslie Humphrey. I watched her earn a trip to, I think it was Atlantis back then, and she was like working out in my gym and hired a personal trainer. And I'm like, what are these moms doing? When I have the real business here. And so I went to her one day and I said, listen, I don't know anything about skincare. I don't think anyone will take me serious. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hate everything that you guys do, but I want to know, and I'm just sharing with you guys as consultants directly and truthfully, like this is what I said to her. I said, I want to know, how do you make 10 grand a month? And go to earnings.arbonne.com to see what's typical and what's average. But like, I didn't know anything about levels. I didn't care about anything about titles. I just want to know if there's other people out there that can make real money in this, like, why can't I? And so I had nothing to compare with. I just was like, just give me the ABCs, even if I hate all of it, I'll do it if that means I can have that type of income and freedom to figure out what I want to do in my life. Because I knew one day I wanted to have kids, I wanted to have a family. So I jumped in, and you guys, this is nothing new to you, but my success tips back then are still my success tips today. And that first one was to literally be 100% coachable. And I know the way we do business has changed in a lot of ways because a lot of different platforms. And I now learn from my downline so much when it comes to different ways to connect and reach out to people. But this is what still holds true, is you've got to be in front of enough people consistently. And so even if back then that meant literally driving 45 minutes to meet somebody for coffee, twice a week, and doing events in-house, in homes twice a week, and sharing products twice a week, we called it 2x2x2, the principles are still the same. Are you connecting with enough people? So I was very tenacious on making sure I was hitting those activity and faces numbers from day one, because in my mind, that's what brought me the paycheck, was just do what I was told to do. And I gave myself 4 years. That's the amount of time I figured people go to college and spend money to figure out what they want to do. I was like, if in 4 years from now, I'm in the same place I am right now, then, worst case, I've got a great discount on these products, but I really have nothing to lose here. So not to put a time frame on it, but I can now look back and realize, because I wasn't stressing out about what I have to get to the top tomorrow. It was more like, I'm going to follow this process for 4 years. I was able to get there a lot quicker because I was following the process consistently. And so that, is to me a huge success tip, is being coachable. The second in this process was from day one, if that's what you're looking is for a bigger business, and I'm all about the right now money, believe me, I loved being able to create that right now income that helped pay the bills, help pay for my rent for my gym and all those things. But my sights were on something that meant a lot more freedom in my day-to-day, and meant maybe one day having kids and being able to be at home with them, but still being able to be a business owner like I wanted to be. And so I knew the only way I was going to get there, selling the nutrition kits out of my gym wasn't going to make that happen. It was great for in my gym, but it wasn't for where I wanted to go. So I led with the business from day one, and I still do. I knew I wasn't going to get there on my own personal sales and network. So I still, lead with the business. I default to product. If they're not yes for business, then okay, we have the best products, but at least they know it's an option. Literally the only time I lead with product is when somebody reached out to me today. They actually called me on Facebook to learn more about the 30-day program. I'm not going to be like, wait, before we talk about that, let's talk business. But I know that I'm going to help her with what her needs are now, but that still means she's going to have great results. She's going to get great customer service, great coaching, and I will definitely share the business just like the person who referred her to me, because that's what happened with them, right? So that mindset is really important if you're looking to build a bigger business from day one. So I jumped in full out, went to like, I didn't have family here. I didn't have friends here. I was all business. And I just went to people and said, listen, you know people, I don't, can I sit down with you, share what I'm doing, and maybe you can introduce people. But it was just my confidence about like smart business and what this could be is why people that had a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Credibility, people that were a lot older than me at the time and more money and everything listened to me because I was just excited about what was possible. And not only did they have referrals like they thought they were giving, they were like, maybe I should do this, right? So just having that really big conviction of what we have to offer. So once I became a regional vice president, I sold my gym. And pretty much very like less than a year later was the national vice president. And that allowed me to obviously have a lot more time freedom with my, newly married. I now have 2 little girls who will be 2 and 4 in July. And it really is cool to look back that this is what I envisioned, that I could create a schedule that I can, afford the help that I need when I need it, but also be able to be present with the things I want to be present with. And I just don't ever want to take that for granted because that is, what I envisioned all those years ago. And so why I want to still continue to help other people so that they can have more choice and support my husband. He's an architect, and I've, because of this business, he's been able to really, originally because of this business and buy the business, and now he's grown it. He's doing amazing. So to support him and we give back a lot. And it's just a huge gift. And you guys all know that. So that's my story. I sprinkled some success tips in there. But one of my next ones that I just want to share real quick is like, don't ever let go of personal connection. And I feel like over this last year, and honestly the last few years where we've really paraded a lot of, quick on social media and all these messages and everything, that I think we've lost, not maybe you guys, but I think a lot of people have lost just that art of personal connection and just really making sure we're getting those one-to-ones where we can hear people's dreams, desires, and discontents. Because I know for me, I start to feel like I'm going through the motions when I'm just doing the reaching out and just doing the following up and just getting the ask in. And even though I'm doing and saying all the right things, it's uninspired because I'm not getting that one-on-one, and people are more distracted now than ever. That's not an excuse. It just means we have to be more tenacious now than ever to get people to the table so we can really hear their stories, to let them open up to us and share, because then we have something to offer, then it's authentic. And even in this crazy world right now, somebody can have totally different beliefs and ideals as you. And I know this because of something I recently experienced, where I got to know somebody in the gym. She had great results. This gym that I work out at, she had great results on the 30-day. She saw something I posted, said something not so nice 2 days after she had just signed up. And I'm like, oh crap, and we have this dialogue back and forth. And because we had a personal connection first, we're able to have that mutual respect. And now we're talking, I'm helping her launch her business, we're sponsoring people. And so that's just a success tip for life. Let's not forget to connect with people. And it makes this business more fun. When I'm doing in-person, I just came from an in-person event where only one person came, and that's okay, because I got fed in my soul of getting to connect with people. Right? Like, so let's not forget that personal connection. I really believe from day one and to now that people really deserve to know that Arbonne is an option. And even if it's not for them, that's okay. But like when you're connecting with people, it's authentic to be like, you just need to know this is an option for you or someone you know, right? So do whatever you need to do to get the appointment. You might have to be tenacious. You might have to follow up 15 times. You watch my GTC training, I mentioned that 7 to 15 times, no matter what, get the appointment. It's true, because that's where you can connect with people. So the last few things I wanted to share, just some lessons along the way. You also mentioned that, and I've already shared some of those, but these are a few that I really feel are big and probably relatable and probably nothing new to you guys. But the first one I just want to touch on is that word comparison, because I think it's something that most of us have experienced or continually experience or will experience. And we've heard it's the thief of joy. I just want to tell you guys, you need to get a handle on it. And I say that because it was something that was so big for me that I just had to get a freaking handle on it, because it caused so much just frustration, even though I had so much to be grateful for, right? Like I almost felt like I would be drowning in just this comparison at times. And even as an MVP, right? And one day I just kind of accepted, I used to beat myself up. Why have I not developed past this? I do so much personal development. Why is this something I would literally just get mad at myself over it? And then I realized, you know what? It might be something that I always deal with, but I'm going to work at overcoming it, even if it is day by day. And that kind of gave me some freedom so that I could stop beating myself over comparison, but instead just recognizing it, acknowledging it, and then putting tools in place to overcome it. And then you know what happened? I actually overcame it. Like one day I just realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, I like don't spend any energy anymore doing that. And then like when certain things come up, I'm like, old Maggie would have been like crazy over that stuff. And maybe it's just maturing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's I got 2 toddlers and I don't have the energy to compare. I don't know. But I want to share that because I know it is a big thing, not for everyone, but a lot of people. And allow yourself to go through the process, but there is hope in the tunnel with it too. And it doesn't mean I don't ever get caught in that again, or I won't ever. I just have the tools to do it. And so get a handle on it. Like it's worth it to make that real effort, because it is stunting joy in your life and in your business when God created us exactly who we are and has us here in this reason, in this place. And there is a reason we will look back. So have faith in that. And one of the things that we do to get over comparison, as well as so many other things that might stunt us, is just focusing on what we can control. I've been a big proponent of energy management over time management for years and years and years. Wherever I first heard that concept, I don't even know, but it's so true. What are the things we can control? Activity, skills, attitude, which is also personal development, and being coachable. Seriously, like we hear that phrase, be the best version of you, but really it's not just a phrase. Like really own that, of just focusing on growing yourself personally and what attitude you're bringing and your personal activity and your skills. So again, make the conscious effort to just focus on what you can control. And I don't know about you guys, again, for me, this last year and a half, it's like, I got to shut some stuff off because I find myself in that energy draining, sucking, management. So it's just being aware of that and getting back to, okay, what can control? How that helped me overcome, just to go back to the comparison thing, is I just got tired of being miserable. It sounds so bad because I was national vice president. I was creating this life that I envisioned and I designed, but I'm just getting real with you guys, okay? So I was feeling fake very regularly, like for several years. Like I am not shy to tell you I'm very disciplined and I'm a hard worker. That's why I do earn all the trips and earn the things and blah, 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 because I do the do no matter what. That is a strength I have. But it's no fun if you don't feel authentic in it and you don't feel like I felt like I actually wasn't great at it. Like I was just grinding it, if that makes any sense. And I was constantly wondering what was I missing as my personality? Like, why was I not an ENVP? Maybe I just was literally lacking the ENVP gene, whatever that was. I didn't make people cry when I coached and trained. I was too ABC. There was all these things that I had in my head about myself that kept me from being whatever that ENVP that everybody wants to be around and loves. I just didn't know what I was missing. And because I was so trapped in that, I was not focusing on other people. I was focusing on what I was missing, what was wrong with me, and what, like, why I wasn't the best coach or the best leader or whatever, right? And I literally remember the day, like, remember where I was standing here in my office and I was like, you know what? I am so tired of feeling miserable, and like just writing out gratitude journals, that doesn't work, because then you like write out I'm grateful for this, 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 and this, and then you feel like crap that you still feel like crap, even though you just wrote out all those grateful things. And I was like, this is not working. Like, what I need to do is just simply focus, like, I'm a lifer. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm a lifer in Arbonne. So I have two choices. I can just continue feeling like crap, or know that I'm a lifer and just accept where I am right now, leave it up to God. Maybe I'm not meant to be an EMVP. Who cares? Life is pretty good. Like, I'm going to keep showing up, right? Like, and I just let it go. I like literally let it go. And I'm like, I'm just going to focus on what I can control and improve. And I'm just going to stay in that lane and trust God to do the rest. And this is where my other big lesson came in. It allowed, so freeing, and allowed me to make space for other people to rise up. And I quickly realized I didn't have to be everything to attract everything. And what I mean by that is, there was the phase of when Instagram became a thing. For you guys who aren't as, haven't been in Arbonne as long, yeah, I went MVP long before Instagram was around. And the only people that follow me are Arbonne people. So like, it's not like I'm, building this amazing business on social media. But I remember when they put people on stage at GTC to teach us how to do Instagram, and I downloaded Instagram at GTC and had like a panic attack. Like, I need to sign up for all these classes and courses and become this like Instagram guru if I'm ever gonna, oh, look at these people are promoting these people that are sponsoring and they're growing so fast all on social media. I'm never gonna have that in my business because I'm not good at social media. Ugh. Oh my God. I finally realized, I'm like, I don't have to be that. I say, move out of the way, go do what I gotta do. And guess what? You know what happened? Like, literally like a month later, someone in my downline sponsored one of those crazy Instagram people that went RVP in 5 months. Go to earningsarbonne.com to see what's typical. But it was like, oh, I just stopped worrying about Instagram. And then the Instagram person came, and then I learned from her. So what I'm getting at is, I have tons of stories like that. But like, now I have one of the most amazing VPs on my team who is the like epitome of creating culture. Like, that was something that I don't feel like is a big strength of mine, where it's like, where I'm super fun to be, or I am fun, but you know what I mean? Like, there's some people that just really have that, and everybody wants to be their best friend. Like, I got out of the way and stopped trying to be who I wasn't. And these people started showing up in my business. And now I have the most incredible VP lineup of lifers that have very different strengths. And they blow me away all the time. And I learn from them. And then here I get like all these accolades over these last 2 years. And I'm like, it's actually these people, but I'll take it. But all I did was get out of the way and let them come up and shine. And so make space for other people to be those things that you might be worried about that you're lacking. Like, who cares? Lack it. Just move out of the way and let other people come up and take that space, and you'll be so much better together. And just something I daily have to do is choose joy. It is a daily decision. Some people, it's very natural. It's a gift. Others, we just have to make that decision. And one of the last like little lessons along the way, or things that I, especially this year looks very different than last year in a lot of different ways, and in our businesses. And, we were really in a ton of momentum as a company, and definitely my business, my organization was in a lot of momentum, and just reflecting. But one of the things that I just want to impress upon all of you, I don't know all your titles or where you're at. I don't care if you're a consultant in a team of 1, or you're a district in a team of 1, or a team of 10, or whatever it is that you have. It doesn't matter. But I want every single one of us, me too, and to remember to create that standard around area manager. And the reason why area managers so important is because I believe for the majority of people, this is where that lifer sets in. That's where there's just something that happens at that level. Some people are lifer from day one, but there's something that happens when you take a level of ownership and vision to get there, that grit and a little bit of scrappiness that you have to do to get to area, but also the fact that you've helped other people. So make that your standard. Make that your standard for yourself and the people that you bring in, and don't overcomplicate it. Sometimes we just are like, but I'm just trying to get my 2,500 and 10,000 sounds so hard, right? Like, let go of that. Most people get to area manager by double D, meaning they get to district and help one other person get to district. Like, sometimes we overcomplicate like the numbers. Just get to district. If you're a team of one, do it again. If you are a district, go get your DM Achiever Award. Like, that's something you can't control. And just duplicate that one time. Maybe it'll take you a while to find that person to do it, but you will get there. So don't get so stressed. So it's the double D. Another way to go about it is focus on mid-month. No matter what, you're at 3,500 plus. I don't care what your team looks like, and you've got at least 2 to 3 new. If you just focused on that in the first half of the month, you're going to create the momentum to really be setting yourself up to go there. So those are just a couple quick tools on how, like, to demystify getting to area, making it a standard, and then do it again. So even if you come up short, just do it again. Like, that is the process. Do your 3,500, focus on finding 2 new business partners and helping them build a paycheck. Like, don't overcomplicate this. And then the next month, do it again. And maybe you did get those 2, and then maybe they both quit. Well, then do it again, and then do it again. Maybe you're an area and you need to do it again. Do it again, and just keep with that same. I feel like that's just such a bring it down. Get your DM Achiever, help one other person do that. Do it again. Duplicate that, you guys. That is what's going to get you to VP and beyond. So that's just one of my like practical success tips when you think about like where you want to go in this business. But I really do encourage every person get to area, because there's a level of this lifership. I'm going to make a new word that you have when you get there. So the truth is, we all know you never arrive, right? Because I just shared I just let a lot on the table, all with the MVP title. I promise you, I've come far from arriving at anything. And I did just have a banging last 2 years. I'll say it. It was great. Hitting milestones I only dreamed of, before, but we are rebuilding a lot right now. And old Meggie would have freaked out and wondered, what did I do wrong? What did I do? What am I missing? What am I lacking? What's wrong with me? But the truth is, from the lessons over the last decade, that hopefully won't take you that long, but for me, is I now know the process. Acknowledge where I am, where we are. Just acknowledge it. This is where we are. It doesn't matter where we've been, good, bad, ugly, great, whatever. Acknowledge where we are right now. Get to work on what I can control. Have a lot of faith. Make space and choose joy. And bring it back to having fun. And that's the formula for me. So anyways, I hope that helps. I know I kind of talked all over the place. Hopefully you got at least 1 or 2 nuggets in there for you and your business.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin to respond, but thank you. This is where I will start. Thank you. I listened to you, and you poured yourself into all of us who you never met, except for you and I have met, but you poured yourself into this group like they were your own team. I felt like you were doing your own Nation's Call tonight as I listened to you. And I cannot thank you enough for that. You said you were not the one to create culture. I will argue with you on that, agree with everything else you said. I will argue with you on that, because the way that you showed the Arbonne culture by so quickly responding to my request and for giving yourself 1,000% into what you shared tonight, and letting us see not only wisdom that we expected to hear from an EMVP with a trail of accomplishments and honors, but just being so honest about your journey. And I learned a lot, and I have a lot to reflect on. And wow, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity and trusting me to share with your team. And I just, yeah, I've just learned a lot for sure. And I just want everybody to know, like, you guys, like, you're okay exactly who you are and where you are. We don't have to be something. We just need to get back to having fun and connecting with people. And let's do this, you know?
I love that. Well, thank you all, Maggie. We love you. I will bring you a hug from every single Hope dealer when I see you in Green Bay in July. And Connolly, you wave at her because you're going to see her in Green Bay in July. Okay, there we go. So anyway, we are so appreciative. And Hope dealers, I love you. Have a great last week of the month. And again, Maggie, we love you and we thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.